I should be asking you that. This is my house.
These are your parents?
Yes, these are my parents.
Oh.
Now it's adding up. Uzo, right?
Yes.
I said it. I used to see pictures of you and Bola when you were younger. Of course, you didn't have dreads then.
Okay, who's this guy? What's he doing here and how does he know you, babe?
Yes, Bola, I'm also curious. Who is this man and how does he know you?
This is Uzo, my ex from uni.
Wait. This is the miscreant.
Miscreant.
Huh?
When love returns. Bola and Uzo were happily in love during their university days. They were both young, full of dreams, and ready to build a future together. But their happiness didn't last long. Bola's father, a very rich and powerful businessman, did not like their relationship. He believed Uzo was not from a good background and that being with her would bring shame to the family and destroy his legacy. Because of that, Bola's father used his power to separate them. When he discovered that Bola was pregnant for Uzo, he became very angry. He didn't care about how Bola felt or how much she loved Uzo. He only cared about his name and reputation. Bola's father decided to destroy their relationship completely. He used his influence to put Uzo in prison so that he could never see Bola again. While Uzo was locked up, for 3 months his mother became very sick. He later released from the prison. After a few years, his mother died. Uzo could not continue his studies because of the pain and hardship. He dropped out of school, and life became very hard for him. He lost everything: his freedom, his education, and the woman he loved. Bola's father totally ruined his life. Meanwhile, Bola gave birth to a baby girl, but her father didn't want anyone to know that her daughter had a child out of wedlock. He secretly planned with a doctor to swap Bola's baby with a dead one. He made Bola believe her child was dead. The real baby was sold to Uzo's aunt, who didn't know the baby's true parents. The doctor accepted the deal because he was bribed by Bola's father. After the swap, Bola's father sent her abroad to study so she could forget everything and never bring shame to the family. Bola cried every night because she believed her baby was gone forever and she thought she would never see Uzo again. Years later, Uzo moved on and owned a luxury salon. Uzo's aunt, who could not have children of her own, was happy to adopt the baby. She raised the child with love and care for 9 years, never knowing she was raising her nephew's daughter. Uzo also had no idea that the little girl he called his niece was actually his own child. 9 years later, Uzo's aunt fell very sick with cervical cancer. On her sick bed, she called Uzo and confessed a secret she had kept for years. She told him that the child he believed to be his niece was actually adopted. She explained that she could not conceive, so she had adopted the child 9 years ago through her friend and a doctor who arranged everything. She begged Uzo to help find the girl's real parents so the child could know the truth and have a better life. After saying everything, she died peacefully. Uzo was heartbroken. He cried bitterly because he didn't know where to start searching. He had no idea who the child's biological parents were. After some days, Uzo decided to go to the hospital with his friend, following the address his late aunt had given him. He met the doctor who handled the adoption, but the doctor refused to tell him the truth. The doctor was scared because Bola's father was behind everything. She knew revealing the secret to get her into big trouble. Later that day, the doctor went to meet Bola's father to tell him that someone had been asking questions about the adoption. Meanwhile, she had no idea that it was Uzo, the father of the child. Uzo, being very smart, decided to follow the doctor secretly with his friend to know who she went to meet. He didn't know that the man was Bola's father. Uzo followed Bola's father to his house, unknowingly to Bola's father. The next day, Uzo went back to the same house and stood outside the gate, waiting to see who would come out. Luckily, Bola's mother came outside. She was a kind woman and didn't know anything about her husband's secret deal with the doctor. Uzo quickly stopped her and told her everything about his aunt, the adoption, and the confession. Bola's mother was shocked. She called her husband immediately to come and hear what Uzo was saying. Uzo started explaining the full story, not knowing he was talking to Bola's parents. While he was still speaking, Bola walked in with her fiancé, Taye. When Bola heard Uzo's voice, she was surprised to see him in her father's house. Uzo was surprised seeing her there too. Bola mentioned his name and Bola's father recognized him at once, the same young man he had sent to prison many years ago. As Uzo finished his story, Bola and everyone present were in shock. Bola's father's face changed and everyone's eyes were on him. Bola's mother demanded to know the truth and Bola was confused, waiting for her father to speak. Finally, the secret came out. Bola's father confessed everything: how he locked Uzo up, how he swapped the baby, and how the child was still alive. The truth broke everyone's heart. Bola's fiancé, Taye, was very angry when he heard the story. He cancelled the wedding and broke off the relationship. He said he couldn't continue because everything had been built on lies. It turned out that the child Bola thought was dead was actually alive, and her real parents were Uzo and Bola. After the truth came out, Bola and Uzo finally reunited. Even though Bola's father had been a big obstacle to their love, they found their way back to each other. It was painful that her father, who was supposed to give her daughter happiness, had caused her so much sorrow, all because of his pride and his so-called legacy. Bola's father valued his business and name more than his family's happiness. He tried to force Bola to marry Taye because Taye was from a rich family and could help grow the business. But Taye didn't truly love Bola. He only cared about the name and wealth he would gain from the marriage. Bola, on the other hand, was never happy with Taye. He didn't give her attention or care. He only focused on business matters and his own ambition. Even though Bola tried to act strong, she always felt empty inside because her heart still belonged to Uzo. It was a strange twist of fate that Bola's child, who was sold after birth, was bought by Uzo's aunt, the same woman who raised the girl with love. Uzo had no idea he was watching his own daughter grow up. When his aunt died, she revealed everything and gave him the clues that led him back to the truth. If Uzo hadn't been brave and determined to find the child's real parents, the secret would have remained buried forever. He was shocked to find out that the adopted child was his daughter, and that Bola's father had caused so much pain just to protect his reputation. When Uzo was in prison, he didn't even know Bola was pregnant. Bola's father had restricted her movement and taken away her phone so she couldn't contact Uzo. After she gave birth, he sent her abroad to avoid the shame of having a baby out of wedlock. He told everyone she was studying overseas, but in truth, he was just trying to protect his name and image in society. Why was Bola's father so overprotective? It was because of his legacy. He valued his wealth and family name more than his daughter's happiness. But was that right? No. Parents should never care more about wealth than the happiness of their children. They should have time to talk with their children, understand their feelings, and support them in love, not destroy it. As for Taye, Bola's fiancé, it became clear that he was never meant for her. He didn't love her truly. He was only after the fame and benefits that came with being married into her rich family. When the truth about Bola's past came out, Taye left without looking back, proving that his love was never real. It was very sad that Uzo's aunt died from cervical cancer. She had a good heart and raised her adopted daughter with love. She didn't know she was raising her nephew's child, and she died without knowing the truth. Her confession before death helped bring everything to light. The mention of cervical cancer in the story is also important because it teaches people about health awareness. Early screening and HPV vaccination can help prevent cervical cancer and save many lives. Because Bola's father locked Uzo up, his mother fell sick and Uzo's life was destroyed. He couldn't continue school and lost all his dreams. But even with all the pain, love found a way to return. The movie, When Love Returns, is not just something to watch for fun. It is full of lessons about love, pain, forgiveness, and hope. It shows how true love can survive even the hardest trials, lies, distance, and sorrow, and still come back stronger. It reminds us that no matter how bad things may look, true love can never die. It may go through suffering and time, but it always finds a way to heal and bring people back together. In the end, Bola and Uzo's story teaches us that love, when it is true, will always return. Wealth and legacy may fade, but love remains forever. To watch the full movie, go to Omoni Oboli TV and subscribe.